Welcome back to another episode. This week, we're gotcha popping. Yes, these are the latest creations from Hybee3d. These are the GotchaPop vending machines. So we have two different size machines here. We have the original, which are these two, and then we have the light version, which is the smaller one. And now with everything printed, let's start building. All right, so this is all of the parts as you print them out. These are for the GotchaPop Light. As you can see, I did them in a matte green PLA. I believe it's Sunlu, olive green, and then there's a gray, I forget what kind of gray it is. But anyway, doesn't really matter. Here we go. We're going to start with the coin mechanism first. The coin mechanism is pretty easy to put together. You put the two springs on there, as I'm showing you here, and then you have to use your fingers to kind of put tension onto the springs to be able to get that center cog onto there, or the little lever things. Once you've gotten those on there, you should be able to click them, with your finger or what have you. Then put the cog wheel in there, put the back piece on, and then you're going to feed through the handle. Once you've got the handle through, you're going to put on the gear and then the nut at the end. Pretty easy. And here I'll show you how it's going to work as you put it all together. It's not too difficult to deal with. There it is. We'll throw a coin into it and turn it, and you'll hear it click, 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 and it'll release the coin out of the bottom. Try it a couple times just to make sure everything's good, and we'll set that aside. Now we're going to start with the main cabinet portion of the build, and we're going to first put on the rear locking mechanism for the drawer. It's like a little L bracket that has a hole in it, and you screw it in from the inside, and then from there we're going to be putting in the chute after here in a second. There we go. So flip it upside down like that, take the chute, slide it into its slots, and then you're going to put the floor on. The floor is going to sit there nice and tidy. We're going to insert some screws. The screws on mine, this is was like a pre-release version of it. So Hybee has made some minor changes to the files, which made the screws go in a little bit easier. And this one, like I said, was printed out before those files were released. So they're a little bit snug in there on this one, but that's okay. They're fixed on these other ones. From there, we're going to go ahead and put the feet in. And the feet are just going to be hand tightened. They'll fit into those 4 holes there in the middle, and that'll be pretty good to go. Here we go. There they are. So we'll get those screwed in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If they are a little bit tough to get into the holes, just put some sort of lubricant there on the screw threads, and you'll be fine. We'll flip it over, and now we're going to put these little pieces. These little guys will join the top and bottom cabinets together. You're going to use the screws to attach them, but don't tighten them up. Just put them in there like with your fingers and let them loose. When you put them in there, if you tighten them down, putting the upper pieces on there is going to be a little bit tough. So just wait a minute until they have you've gotten all the other stuff on top of them. And here's the funnel floor, just to make sure everything fits okay. We'll take that back out because we need to put the funnel floor, or the funnel on the floor rather. There's those pieces there, and you'll put that through the floor and put the nut on that. That's a reverse threaded nut, So you'll just want to make sure that you aren't trying to thread it the wrong way. There we go. We'll throw the coin mechanism back into the front here. And then we can put the coin floor or the funnel floor into its spot over those little tabs. There is an arrow on that funnel on the gear thing there. You're going to want to line that up directly with the turning, the handle mechanism. There we go. So we'll just put that's the top of the funnel pieces on there. And now you're going to put those screws on the top side. Pretty simple. Well, once you've gotten all 4 of those screws in, then you can go back with the little tool there that you see, the white little Allen key thing that I just picked up, and you can snug them all down. Now wouldn't be a bad time just to try the coin mechanism again, just so that you're ensuring that everything's rotating properly. But now we're going to go ahead and put the stuff for the cages in. These are the arms or corners, whatever you want to call them. They're labeled A and B. So on the front side, the A is on the right and the B is on the left. And then when you spin it around, it'll be the same. So they're in opposite corners. Then you're going to put the cages in, and they'll slide right through the little holes, or little slots rather. And they should be flush with the top. As you see, I only put 3 of them in there because I was doing a different piece for the back. And then there's the screws for the top. I like getting them in place and then snugging them down. That's it. It's a pretty simple build. That's the 1-piece top. There is also a 3-piece one that slides in the middle. I did 3-piece ones on the other one, so I wanted to try one of the 1-piece. And that's it right there. That's the GotchaPop light. Looks all nice and fancy. And then we'll throw a ball in there, and we'll make sure that it functions. It turns, the ball comes out. Bob's your uncle. And then we can spin it around to the backside and pull out the drawer. Make sure that the coin fell into the drawer, which it did. So success. Okay, so you're going to want to know which size machine you want to build if you don't want to build both of them. And I'm going to put some dimensions up on the screen right now, and that dimension is going to be essentially for this piece here. This is the piece that goes in between the layers of the machine. It's the floor, I guess, essentially. The reason that I put those dimensions there is that you should print that out, that size of a piece of plastic on your machine. This is a 256 by 256 plate from one of my bamboo machines, and as you can see, it's real close to the whole sides of this thing. And the issue that I was having with with these larger ones was that, as you can see here on this piece, I was getting a lot of warping and lifting around the edges. And I tried a whole bunch of stuff trying to get rid of it, but I was not super successful at that. So I had to actually print several of these off to get one that worked well. If you print out a big square like this, if you're having cooling problems or something like that on your machine, then I would go for the light immediately. The light is a bit smaller, but it prints out just fine right in the middle of the machine. It's not pushing those limits. What I was finding on my P1S that I was trying to print these out on was that the one side of the print bed just doesn't get hot enough along that edge. And so even with all the fans turned off and all that, I was getting that warping going on. So I ended up printing them out on a one that I had that did fine, but not everybody's got multiple machines that they can try to do these on. So try that out first. If you have one of those machines that's around the 256 size, print this out or print the square out, and if it prints well, then sure, go for the big one. If it's giving you problems with that, then I would go with the small one instead. So those are the builds of the GotchaPop. As you can see, it's not a very difficult build. There's some things that I really like about them, and there's a few things that I would like to see a little bit differently. The light went together really nicely. As you can see, it's much smaller than the full-size one. This one will hold about 100 of the 2-inch capsules that you can buy like off of Amazon or something like that. If you do the 3D printed capsules, it's in the upper 70s. In the small one, in the light version, you can put about 30 of the pre-made capsules in there, and about like 27, I think it is, of the 3D printed ones. I built 4 of these larger machines already. This is the first one of the light version that was just released that I've built. The similarities are like in the coin controls and stuff like that. They go together very easily. I love the sound that it makes when you're cranking the knob. It works really good. The main difference is going to be obviously the size. The design for the light, it's all one piece down here. I don't know if he's going to be releasing a version like he did with this one that you can do the 4 sides individually or not. You can print this off on an A1 Mini or the Prusa Mini or the regular size, 256 style machines. The cages, this is just one of the cage designs that's out there. There's 6 or 7 of them that come with the files. And then other people that are building these are also making their own cages, and some of them are releasing those as well. There was a really cute one I saw the other day. It was hearts. And then there's also like a multi-board version of it, which is really nice for if you're going to be having these in a store or something. You can hang on there how much the tokens are to put them in there. A few things that I would definitely suggest to do. The first suggestion is with the screws. Make the screws at 100% infill. You're just going to have a lot better luck with them because if they don't go in just right or whatever, if at the regular infill, mine had a tendency to snap. But if you're snapping them, you're also probably over torquing them, and you don't have something lined up right. But it's not a whole lot of filament, so just do them at 100%. So that's all the ones on the sides and for the top. The feet, I would probably still do it like 50% infill. I don't really think you need to do the feet that high, but again, it's not that much filament that goes in them. Something else that's really cool about them is that you can actually stack them. Here on the tops of the machines, you have the little divots in there, and that's the same pattern as the feet are. So right now, there's not a pattern for the big ones to stack a small one on top of the big one, but I'm sure somebody's going to do that. Other things that I personally would like to see, I'm a real big anti-supports guy. I don't like supports in my models, but sometimes you need to have them. This machine is one of those machines where you need to have them on some pieces, especially here on the front piece here where the capsule comes out. But what I would like to see is taking that support structure away from the slicer. I'd really like to see, if Hybee continues to develop these, is to put manual supports in there or design supports into it that would come out. Like supports that were, I saw, inside some of the capsule things might come out a little bit rough as the tree supports. But if you could design a support to go up in there, I think it would be better. The other thing I would like to see different is here with the coin tray. Is for the trays down here, I've got big fat fingers.
I've got big fat fingers. I've got big fat fingers. I've got big fat fingers.
And it's hard for me to grip them. So with those, I'd like to see the handle come out wider, right here. So instead of just this little spot here, maybe it went to the edges or something that I can get my fingers around, because trying to get it up underneath of the lock piece on the cabinet part gets a little tough for us fat finger people.
I've got big fat fingers.
The other thing that I would like to see with these trays is some storage for the tool. You saw me using it's not an Allen key, it's just a square key for the screws. I like to see something inside this coin tray to be able to house that. It would make it easier if you need to do maintenance on the machine, take something apart or whatever. You're not going to lose it if it's in the coin tray. So, but then it's not floating around. You know, a little slot or something like that would be pretty cool. Only other option I would really like to see involves the lids. So the small one that I did here, this is a one-piece lid. And then here with the larger one, you can see it does have a three-piece lid. So this will actually slide back and you can put the balls and such in there. But what else I would like to see is actually, I'd like to see a flip-up lid. Something that would tilt instead of sliding. That's just a personal preference thing. The other thing I would suggest would be the material of choice. So in Hybee's files, he suggests that you do the mechanics of the coin turner in PETG for extra strength and flexibility of the springs and such. If you're going to have these things out at a fair or carnival or something like that, something where they're going to see outdoor light and such, I probably would do the whole thing out of PETG. Well, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel as we do other builds. I'm actually using these as part of a business of going from a 3D printing hobby to a business. So if you want to follow along with that, subscribe to the channel. If you want to get your own files for building either or both of these machines, I'll also put a link in the description to Hybee's website so you can pick them up there. Until then, peace out, sauerkraut. So if you stuck around this long, let me know your thoughts on this. We have small, we have large. Could we do a supersize? 275% of the original scale could dispense 6-inch balls. If you did make it this far, comment monster down in the bottom and let me know if you think I should do it or not.
I've got big fat fingers. 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 I've got big fat fingers.